Who said it wasn't free taco readings? I like tacos. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe I'll tell you. Maybe I won't. Gotta love them free taco readings. My taco flavored kisses. Bra, bra, bra. I'm gonna go ahead and run the ad just so it's out of the way. Because otherwise it always goes to run rate when I start. Can you hear me okay? Do I sound good? Maybe I should post on Facebook too, just to... Woo! I'm so rusty, I'm shuffling like sheep. Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh, whoops. I gotta change the tags. Unknown error. What? There we go. I also think it'd be really fun to do like tarot card, like reading reviews. That sounds weird, but I watch so much tarot that like, I like being able to share stuff I find, good readers I find. Okay. Alright. Oh. Alright, we'll just get right into it. Hello. Alright. I think we'll just start with, let's just do general energies. General energies. Alright, what's going on? What's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, ooh. I said, hey, what's going on? That's not a bad spread, if I do say so myself. I guess I'll pull an oracle too. 'Cause why not? Welcome to my free taco readings. I hope you're having a good day. Ooh. Shadow. Looks like some... I mean... I would always recommend shadow work. Oh, look at that. So we got a little bit of duality going on. Maybe needing to get into some balance. Are you lacking balance, perhaps? Divinity and shadow. The light and darkness. Alright, we'll talk about the 3 cards that are on the table currently. The moon. In this particular spread, the first card represents past energies that are present. So that like lingering energy, maybe something you just went through, or something that has happened and still having that lasting effect. Number 18, the moon. Moon typically represents things that are like the unknown, things that are in illusion, Perhaps past deception. Hi, Phantom Punk. How are you doing? Are you here for a reading? It's going pretty good. Welcome. Oh, I just realized my chat's a little big on screen. We can fix that. Sweet. Okay. So would you like me to pull some cards for you? Right now I'm just doing a general energy collective reading, which pretty much applies to anyone. It's more of a timeless reading, so if you stumble upon this video after the fact or even just tuning in, these are just things that apply in general. But if you'd like a personal reading, I can definitely do that for you. If you'd like a general, or if you have a specific question in mind, just let me know and I'll pull some cards on it. The cards currently, we'll just finish up with what's here, and that is the King of Pentacles. He's very abundant. He is the King of Pentacles is probably one of the most desirable kings, because he represents status that's in the real world, represents like material wealth, that kind of thing. So and that's present. So either you're in, this represents being in a good place, and the Three of Cups is represents future energies, and that is the Three of Cups. So what I'm getting from this is that these particular energies pertain to maybe someone who's perhaps doing really well on their own, most likely because you've overcome something, like perhaps someone who stabbed you in the back, or something you were disillusioned by. But despite that, you're sitting pretty good and doing pretty well. And so the Three of Cups is basically telling me that my general advice to anyone listening is to not let that past deception affect you, and that you should still make sure that you're like reaching out and collaborating with other people, and that it's okay to share those cups, whether it be you being plentiful and like abundant, whatever you're abundant in. Now it's time to kind of take what you have and share it with others in a way that can be beneficial to everyone. All right. Oh no. Howdy. Okay, of what's coming my way soon. All right, this reading, I'm going to do a 3-card spread we're going to draw 3 cards for Phantom Punk. What's coming your way? What is coming your way? Can I get 3 cards representing what's coming Phantom Punk's way? First card, the High Priestess. That almost tells me, well, we'll keep going. The Hermit in reverse. And the Four of Cups. Okay. So your first card is the High Priestess. This card speaks to your intuition, almost as if you're asking for, it's almost like you're asking for what's to come when you already intuitively know. At least that's what I'm getting. Um, and maybe, hopefully, you'll get something from this that kind of just gives you that uh, confirmation you're looking for. Um, in this particular deck, the High Priestess sees that you have an idea filled with potential and takes you aside, representing the subconscious. She asks you to meditate and reflect on all possible choices. This is the moment between the idea and the action. Listen to your inner voice and access the deep fountain of knowledge in the back of your mind before you make a decision. Unlike the magician who represents active energy, the high priestess represents the pure potency and stable energy. Think like Pisces energy, uh, very dreamy and metaphysical. Um, it is also the number 2 card, so uh, it's, as we got with the oracles, like a very dualistic aspect where um, you have to make sure that you're not too much head in the clouds. Without like action behind this energy, it can easily be derailed. So some things are not achieved solely by might. And this is symbolized by the moon in the starry sky. The high priestess is the second teacher the fool finds on their journey to spiritual completion. She teaches the fool that some things take staying still and waiting for them to reveal themselves to you. If you get the high priestess card in a reading, it poses a challenge to go deeper. As always, the number 2 represents duality. You are reaching the point at which you have to make a choice. In work or career readings, the High Priestess may be saying that you should trust that all things will come to you naturally. If you have been drinking coffee and pulling all-nighters to get to your goal, this may be a sign that it would serve you better. What would serve you better is crisp, quiet mornings and early daydreams. Yay! Let's see how the other cards line up then. Let's see, the Hermit in reverse. So it's interesting because the first card is a very dreamy, reflective energy, but then the Hermit in reverse is almost like the kind of like its counterpoint. Or maybe it's even just kind of the negative side of the Hermit, almost like a Hikimori, where you're like, it represents almost like a hermit on the upright position is like the wise meditative wizard who's like the Gandalf wise type, where in reverse it's kind of more of the like think more like Gollum. So whether this is like a warning or maybe even just a sign that there's something about that energy. I don't know. We'll read the meaning and maybe something will jump out at you. Getting the reversed hermit in a reading could be a sign that you've been isolated for too long, spending more time than necessary reflecting on your inner self. It could mean loneliness or withdrawal. In a relationship, the hermit reversed can mean too much unwelcome separation, or that one person in a relationship craves more affection than the other. If you are single, this card reverse can indicate that you're tired of being alone. Interesting. Okay. Your last card is the Four of Cups, which is kind of the same, but there's like a silver lining to it. So I'm just getting that maybe whatever kind of funk you're in, or if you are, maybe that you have a little bit of a lull going on right now, whether you want to admit it or not. And maybe that's what's causing your being withdrawn. But The Four of Cups is a card that always needs to remind us that a lot of times, do you see how the cup upside down is the biggest cup? It means you're too focused on um, like crying over spilt milk and like feeling a loss or a forlorn over one cup, one particular emotional setback, and not realizing that you have three other opportunities right in front of you. Like in the original depiction of the Four of Cups in tarot, there's someone sitting down contemplating over a spilt cup while there's like three right next to them upright. So, my advice is basically just not to focus on the negative because just like how there's four cups here, only one is the focus. It only takes one drop of Windex to ruin a bowl of chili. So try to focus on that positive energy, or at the very least stay neutral, because negative energy really can run rampant so easily. So I would encourage you to just maybe, you know, this is just me, but obviously I'm thinking it just that you need to find something to kind of be passionate about, and maybe not even necessarily get out, but just to do something, to find an action to focus on. Because the Four of Cups is just telling me that there is opportunity around that maybe you're just not seeing. I could, let me do one more for you. I want to, let's do one more card because I don't have anyone else speaking up just yet. We got the time. We'll just keep going with it. If anyone wants a reading, just type in the chat. I usually do about 3 cards, and if there's not like a lot of requests, we'll just keep going. Alright, it's getting difficult to shuffle, so I'm going to just see what's on top. Strength card in reverse. Interesting. So, what's got strength card in reverse is still giving me like that timid energy. Like you said, withdrawn. Interesting. Strength. Okay. Self-doubt, ungratefulness, and weak love. So maybe a little bit of like that's giving me like toxic positivity, or even so I've this is just me personally, but I know everybody's really big on, oh, yeah, Aussie Chick 420. What's up? Thank you so much for the follow. So I'm almost kind of getting like okay, the fake it till you make it, but you're not, but you don't believe it. And that's giving me like, so everybody's been really big on affirmations lately. And I was watching this really interesting video that said like affirmations are kind of bullshit. And I was like, no fucking way, because I've been trying them and they don't work on me. And so this is almost giving me like affirmations energy, so where like they can almost be harmful in the sense of like you're sitting there and listening like, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I'm good, I'm awesome, I am doing well, thank you so much for asking. um but you just don't feel it, and sometimes like that hyping, the actions of like hyping yourself up almost like bring you down a little more, because it's like I don't feel awesome. So I'm gonna urge you to just kind of like maybe do some meditations and be okay with like self-acceptance, like work on some self-acceptance, and like don't BS yourself. um like sometimes we can hype ourselves up so much that we end up like not doing anything at all, and then that just brings you down more because you're like, oh man, I really wanted to go out today and I didn't. And instead it should be just like, meh, I probably needed a little more rest and I'm just not quite ready to go out. And when I am ready to do that thing, kind of like with the high priestess, it's like you'll intuitively know when it's your time to go. And so like even if you really are wanting to get out there but it doesn't happen today, like beating yourself up or trying to hype yourself up too much can have like the have negative effects. So my recommendation is just to kind of like just um, be really practice being in the moment. Um, and one of the best ways I like to slow my mind down is um, the teachings of Eckhart Tolle, where you just focus on um, breathing, things that your body just does naturally without you having to think about it, and think about getting into those moments, like just closing your eyes and thinking about how the fact that your body is still functioning and existing even without any thought put into it. And it really does help calm your mind. Are you wanting a reading today, Aussie? We can do a general if you have a particular question in mind. Hi, hi. Hi, Karar. The best. Are you here for a reading? I also can, it kind of depends how it goes. Like when on slow days, I can even do like a second reading, that kind of thing. That's the nice thing about it being a little bit slow. Yes, okay. I felt like I needed an intuitive reading and then came across your stream. Awesome. Are you receiving anything for me? Basically just getting the feeling that you wanted a reading. Let's just pull a card and see. Karar, do you have a particular question in mind, or you just want a general? I'm going to do a single card for Aussie and see what comes out. And that way, Karar, that'll give you a minute to kind of decide what kind of reading you'd be interested in. Let's see for Aussie. Wow, that's interesting. So, Aussie, I didn't flip the deck or anything, but the strength card came right back out, except for upright this time. I didn't even realize I shifted the deck like that. That's kind of cool. So you're basically the energies are like polar opposite. Because the strength card represents courage, calm, and compassion. There is, interestingly enough, sometimes a little bit of underlying um, shadow to the strength card, in the sense that like you don't need strength for something unless there's fear involved too, if that makes sense. Thank you. I'm reading from the Kawaii Tarot deck. So, strength is quiet. It's dealing calmly with frustrations when what you really want to do is lash out. It's molding situations over time, knowing that you can endure. It's love and forgiveness. This card can serve as compassionate reminder not to give up, although your circumstances may seem wild and out of control. After the Fool meets the Chariot and hears the message of power through self-direction, she goes forward in her journey with absolute uncompromising victory in mind. Eventually, the Fool grows tired of the fire in her belly, and that's when the Fool finds strength, pure, innocent, yet firmly grounded. Strength shows us the calmer side of power, while card 7 represents strength directed outward. Strength is about the power of the inner spirit to influence and overcome anything. Represented by a tame lion, strength is about honoring and mastering animal nature through warmth and gentleness. Although fear may seem unruly and uncontrollable, that's really what makes it powerless. Receiving strength in a reading is a sign that even though you may feel your situation is unwieldy, you are the one in control. Whether you are trying to tame a situation or force, remember to give more gentleness than you receive, or else you will never get anywhere new. Interesting. Well, so I know I did just pull one card. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I'm getting from your card. And if you want to do a 3-card spread, we can still do that. But I am gonna talk a little bit about your 1 card, and then I'll go on to Karar's. So, what I want to say to you, Aussie Chick, is basically that it sounds very much that whatever you got going on right now, you probably it's basically like everything's gonna be okay, kind of, is what I'm getting. And maybe you're not necessarily experiencing anything rough at the moment, but just that you are in a generally good energy, and that if anything, it would be a good time to maybe center yourself and make sure that how could I say, kind of like I guess I would say maybe consider the little guy sometimes, in the way that, like, you know, the big fierce lion is easily brought down by a thorn in his paw, and he needed the little mouse to pull it out. Maybe you're overlooking some energies nearby because they're not quite on your level. That could definitely use maybe some compassion or consideration. But if you have if you want me to draw more cards or have a specific question, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'm gonna do some cards for Karar. Asked, I proposed to a girl. She wanted tune. What? Proposed to a girl. She wanted tune. Would she accept, or will there be new? Oh, she wanted time. Oh. She wanted time. Would she accept, or will there be new love? Okay, so I'm gonna draw a couple. Yay! I'm so glad I could help, Aussie. Okay, so sometimes when I get questions like this, I can't help but put in a little bit of my 2 cents, just because I can, even without consulting the cards, I have to. Oh, yes! Thank you, Samurai. Thank you for the follow. Okay. I can't help but put my 2 cents in sometimes. And that is that asking for more time isn't bad or good. I would definitely put yourself into a neutral place. However, if you are wanting new love, there's actually, it's one of those things where this has got to be entirely up to you. You have to ask yourself, are you okay with waiting on someone? Which, in a way, I don't ever recommend waiting on anything. More like, are you willing to move forward knowing that she's not ready? Or would you prefer something new? And in the case of her wanting time, I don't think she would even care if you wanted to pursue something new. Usually someone saying they need more time is a sign that you need to just focus on yourself, and that it doesn't really mean anything that reflects on you. Just that that particular person isn't wanting a relationship with you at this time. What you do with that is up to you, but anytime you want something new, you have to give up that current energy. So, if you do decide that you want new love, you can go for that. You are going to have to give up on your current desires, which is kind of sounding like it's probably the best idea. Maybe that new love should be you. Because in these kind of moments, sometimes it's best to just do some self-reflection and self-improvement. But let's ask the cards. What should Karar do? Alright, first card, flipped right out, was the Page of Swords. What should Karar do? What advice do we have for Karar? Ooh, 7 of Pentacles. I'll talk about these meanings in just a minute. What advice for Karar? Okay, 4 swords reversed. Alright. Ooh! Lenora! Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Just so everybody knows, shout out to Lenora. She's one of my VTuber parents. She did the awesome rigging for my VTuber. That's no biggie. I've been like kind of hiatusing for a little bit, so. Yay, thank you so much for the follow. Okay. Ah! Beautiful motion provided by you, of course. Wow, thank you, Tipping Canoes. Also hadn't followed. What's good? Hey, Samurai. I'm so beautiful. Okay. So, I've already put my 2 cents in, Kedar, so I'm just going to read directly from the book for your reading and see, and you can kind of see what resonates for you. um, and how it may pertain to your situation. If I get anything in particular, maybe I'll speak up, but um, I think I'm going to let the cards speak for themselves on this one. Especially since I kind of already said my piece on the matter. You know, whether you decide new or old, or new or sticking around, I can only again recommend that waiting for anything is just never a good energy to be in. Neutrality is one thing, but like waiting is like waiting for waiting for a water to boil. It just seems like the longer you stare at the pot, the longer it seems to take. Where if you go of course, you go back to your bedroom and sit down, next thing you know, you got a pot on fire. No, I'm just kidding. So your first card represents smarts, analysis, and challenge. Tipping canoes. Also, samurai was really good. Okay. The Page of Swords can be a child or an immature person who lives for new ideas or thoughts. He's quick, almost like a computer. The Page of Swords tends to be a know-it-all, at worst someone who blurts out things they shouldn't say. Because of this, the Page of Swords can, in rare cases, serve as a warning that someone may be telling your business to others. On a more positive side, the Page of Swords may be a sign of intelligence and strong analytic nature in a youthful person you know or yourself. When it comes to decision making, Page of Swords challenges you to make the right choice even when it seems difficult. In fact, especially when it's difficult. Pages usually represent messengers, and the Page of Swords is no different, that he presents opportunities for growth. Because of the youthful, idealistic, and inexperienced nature of pages, this is not the final battle. Ooh! Thank you, Goofy! The challenge you are facing is likely a test early in your journey that will measure your commitment to your personal growth. Hi! I'm pretty good. How are you? I don't know if, like, some of this Page of Swords energy I feel is, like, maybe coming from the other person. But I can't help but, like, this is pushing me to kind of almost encourage you to just kind of push forward. Because you would be shocked how much in love, situations of love, that, like the law of attraction almost, like if you show this person that you're like waiting for them and like in that patience of waiting, someone with low self-worth or hasn't quite like found their place yet, like this page, because pages represent not necessarily an actual child or young person, but that like youthful energy. It could even represent someone like college age, basically representing someone who's like not quite there yet. They're still in like the student portion of life, and so a lot of times people aren't ready to settle down at that point. And if you kind of show this energy of like, okay, I'm just gonna keep moving, I'm doing my own thing, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Que sera, sera. So basically you can hold space for someone, but never be in a waiting energy. The Seven of Pentacles is your second card, and it represents vision, waiting, and time will tell. See, there you go. I mean, I feel like that almost answered it right there. The Seven of Pentacles is a feeling of anxiety after you've done a lot of work, or maybe even proposed, but haven't seen the results yet, like they ask for more time. The Seven of Pentacles card is a card with a big vision stuck in the day-to-day tasks of setting goals and objectives. As such, there's the energy of conflict, but I want it now. On the plus side, the Seven of Pentacles can show that you've made some wise investments. They will just take some, oh my God, time. Whatever the result, be assured you have done what is necessary to reach your goal. Woo! Thank you for the sub! Heck yeah! So this Goofy is a reading for Terrar. They proposed to someone and the person requested more time. So we're just doing a personal reading to see what kind of advice the cards give. If you'd like a personal reading, just say so. Anyone, just type in the chat and let me know. And I'll just do people in order of when they ask. You can get a general reading, or if you have a particular question on your mind, just let me know and I'll do a reading for you. So, wow, I mean, I feel like, Terrar, your cards are pretty spot on what you should be doing. That maybe you just asked a little, you jumped the gun a little bit too soon. And it's really too difficult to say whether this person or someone new is worth pursuing. But either way, like, that's not a reflection on you. That you're basically, it sounds like you're a very smart person, who obviously invested in someone, had a good eye for who to, ask as a potential partner. So you can, even if this doesn't work out, you will have the discernment to do it again if need be. Your final card is the Four of Swords reversed. So take this one as kind of, these third card is usually your future influence. So this is kind of like your warning card. And it represents frenzy, burnout, and passivity. It can show up reversed in a reading when you have been feeling restless and frantic, like kind of waiting. Again, that waiting energy. So that's a bad thing. You should take some time to think things over rather than deciding to do everything at once. This is especially true if some big event or occasion is over the horizon. You'll need quiet time to prepare and gather strength. In some moments, the Four of Swords reverse can simply represent the ambiguous need to stay still or slow down when you have not done so previously. Sometimes it's better to sit things out than get involved. Not everything needs your response. So yeah, it sounds like you should probably be focused on you right now. Focused on anything else. Instead of looking for answers on what you should be doing, it's a good time to maybe meditate, find a new hobby, geek out on a video game, reconnect with your bestie. Just kind of anything that will make you feel good and kind of bring you back to somewhere where you're not thinking about all of this, where you don't necessarily have these questions on your mind. I hope that helps. Okay. Who's next? Cottage. We have Cottage. We have Samurai. We have so many new people. First time chatters. Thank you if you're just finding my channel. We haven't figured out an exact day for what our tarot days are going to be. But as long as these do well, I'll keep doing them. So, thanks for coming to my stream. And it looks like, so if I'm doing by order of chat, I've got Goofy and then I've got Samurai. So, and I'm not sure if I said it, but thank you for the follow, Goofy. 1 second, I've got to answer a work call. Sorry about that. I got a work call. Okay. I believe, yes, Goofy, you actually asked first. So Goofy, will do a reading for you, and then Samurai, I'll do you next. So if you want to just, while I'm doing Goofy's reading, maybe get, if you want a general, that's fine. Or if you have a particular question that you want to ask, now would be time to think about it. And Goofy, let's do a reading for you. Oh, that's my kitty Noodle. Hi, Noodle. Thanks for joining. Okay. What kind of reading are we doing for Goofy? Should we do a general 3? We got King of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups reversed. Okay. Ooh, okay. How can I gain control over my life? What changes should I make? All right. The first card you got is the King of Wands in reverse. And I do like to do a lot of reading directly from the book, so that everybody can get their own interpretations. But sometimes if I'm getting something, I'll kind of throw that out there too. Because for me, the King of Wands is very, is all about bravado and very showy. Like a passionate, outgoing type. So the reverse is giving me like a time to drop any facades, or maybe even any self images we have of. So like, it's really easy for people to get attached to what we think we're supposed to be. So it's like, you know, I'm an artist, so I must be the best artist. And anything that like challenges that, whether it be seeing someone else who's a better artist than you, becomes like this kind of threat. Your ego will get threatened. King of Wands is very egotistical. So this to me is just telling me that it is time to kind of like, if you're looking on changes, ask yourself, what image, who do I think I am? And how does that image I have in my mind of myself affecting me from day to day? So like, are we maybe, you know, what parts of yourself do you take pride in and attach yourself to? And how does that affect you? Because it's followed up by the Queen of Pentacles in the upright. And the Queen of Pentacles, her energy is, she sits on her throne. She holds the pentacle, which is represented of abundance, material wealth, and things of this world. And she needs nothing from no one. People come to her. So it's kind of telling me that maybe what's affecting you is sort of whatever outwardly aspects you've created for yourself, when in reality it's maybe a little bit of grounding and realizing that like, you as you are have everything you need. And then you also got the Three of Cups reversed. That one I'm going to read directly. It represents emptiness, conflict, and self-pity. In a reverse position, the Three of Cups can signify a self-pitying feeling on your part. Reverse, this card can be a sign that you are feeling empty in your relationships. You may feel like you're the only one putting any work in with no gratitude. The conflict that can come from this feeling cannot be understated. If you value your relationships, be honest and communicate with others how you feel. Be prepared to take a step back if the relationship is toxic. Ooh, hi DJ. We took a hydrate. Everybody drink some water. Check your posture and stretch. Feels so good. I'm good. How are you, DJ? I know sometimes I'd be throwing the cards throw a little bit of shade, but you can't have light without shadow, right? And my general did reflect that, just encouraging everyone to do a little bit of shadow work. So, you know, I just also want to remind that you have that Queen of Pentacles as your center card. That is your current and present energy, which means you already have it going on. So maybe where the problems are is just how you are reacting to your environment and things on outwardly. Sam, I know I'm going to give you one more card. We're going to do one more card as a clarifier, and then we're going to do Samurai. I was wondering if I can get a reading on the future. Life hasn't been on the positive side recently. Okay. All right. We'll do one final clarifier for Goofy, and it fell on the floor. And then we're going to move on to Samurai. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I should read this upright or upside down because it was the King of Swords, and it's hard to tell which way it fell. So your final parting energy. Lots of 2 kings and a queen. Hi, Noodle. So, the King of Swords can represent authority, ethics, and objectivity. But in reverse, he represents abuse and misuse of power and tyranny. So, I'm gonna just, with my final parting advice, is gonna be just to focus on things that will ground you. Stay in a kind of humble energy, because maybe what's happening is like, because you are so well off, it's possible that you kind of maybe struggling with like a power dynamic within yourself, and I would just say some meditation, centering, focus on breathing, and focus on the positive aspects of the King of Swords. So we'll read about him, and then we'll give Samurai a reading next. So, where's our King of Swords? Here we go. The King of Swords represents mature intellectual power and authority. Though he is highly regarded, you probably wouldn't consider the King of Swords a friend. He is the military commander of the tarot, concerned first and foremost with strategic execution. The King of Swords uses his objective nature to seek out the truth and facts. When the King of Swords feels out of place in a spread, that suggests you need to be more stern and clear in your goals. Be fair in your judgment of your situation and leave behind negative emotions that are holding you back. You may be worried about looking cold and unsympathetic, but now is a time when what others think doesn't matter as much as becoming your highest self does. Use logic to navigate forward. Wow, okay. I like that reading. I hope that helped. All right, let's see what we can do for Samurai. And honestly, Samurai, if things aren't going so great for you, I'm definitely sending you lots of good energy, and I hope things turn around. There's always like light after the storm, so. Alright, let's give a shuffle. Maybe cut the deck. Sometimes I even like to... We've done a couple readings, so I really want to shake them up. Cards for Samurai. Cards for Samurai. Oop. Alright. That was kind of hard to... 9 of Swords. 9 of Pentacles. And the 7 of Cups all reversed. Interesting. Okay. Although, out of all the cards to get reversed, I want to say that 9 of Swords is a pretty good one to get reversed. So, unfortunately, the 9 of Swords does actually have a little bit of like a negative. It's kind of a negative card. It represents like mental anguish or sleepless nights, anxiety, suffering. In this particular case, it also can represent like beating yourself up. But the fact that it's reversed, I'm getting almost like the like we're going to be coming. This is your past influence energy, so I'd like to think that that is you coming out of that. So when you get a 9 of Swords reversed, it can come up at a time when you're beating yourself up about something that happened in the past. It's time to let it go. This card reverse can also show up after you've sought help for worrying that you've been experiencing, or for the worrying you have been experiencing. It is a sign that the troubles will soon wane. On the other hand, the 9 of Swords can appear in a reading when you are needlessly suffering and should find help, whether it's professional help or confiding in a friend. Hey, Davy! Evening! So, I mean, right off the bat, I am just going to say, if you're going through something rough, make sure you know, if there's resources for you, you know, just make sure you're asking. It's the big thing is just that you are coming out of that dark time. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Nine of Pentacles reversed. Workaholicism, setback, and self-criticism. So it sounds like you know, it's exactly as you're saying. The cards are literally reflecting what you've already told me, and that you're just going through a hard time. So I think we're definitely going to ask for a clarifier. Because this to me is like almost like a surface reading. It's just telling me exactly what you've already told me, that it's hard times. But we do have the silver lining in the sense that this is telling me that you're on your way out of it. All I can say is encourage you to seek help from whoever, you know, don't give up in that sense. Because you are on your way out of the rough times. When the 9 of Pentacles appears reversed in a reading, it can mean a few different things. And so this is your present energy. Or this card represents your present energy, but it always serves to bring attention to an imbalance. It could be that the querent is overworking themselves and forgetting to appreciate the progress. In terrible cases, even berating themselves for no reason. It is also possible there has been a slight setback. However, the Nine of Pentacles, even when reversed, is a card of luxury and poise. You can expect a win soon. You're very welcome, Goofy. Whenever I do tarot, all you have to do is say something. So I really, really encourage everyone to always come back and get more readings. Because, I don't know, I have fun getting to know everybody and just seeing what comes up. I've even noticed that, like, if something resonates for you, maybe I'm your reader. Only time will tell, right? But I do like when people follow up with me. Hi, Noodle. Hi. You got the Seven of Cups in reversed. It represents reflection, distraction, and hastiness. So this is your future influence. Maybe even just warning you that because you're going through bad times, you're almost like too eager to get out of it. That can be sometimes a bad... This one, like, sort of... Exactly! Noodle is always good luck. Don't be too hasty. Don't fall for, like... A lot of times when people are in a bad place, it makes them vulnerable to, like, new exciting opportunities, and you're likely to ignore red flags. So just be careful. Make sure you're spending time to, like, really think about what got you into the situation and how to prevent repeating any mistakes. Because no matter what happens, yes, obviously bad things are very circumstantial, but there's always things we can change as far as how we react to those negative energies that we can maybe help improve for the next time when those negative energies inevitably resurface in different ways. So when was the last time you checked in with yourself? The Seven of Cups reversed can suggest distractions, active diversions that take up your time but don't ultimately go anywhere. So make sure you're not like, ooh, something new and shiny, this is awesome. Like, hopping in, all of a sudden somebody seems really like the perfect partner and you're so into them, and it turns out, like, no, they were just love bombing you, and it's actually a toxic cycle you're falling into. So just kind of be careful. That's all this is saying. That you are on your way out. Hi, thank you, Hija. Thank you for the follow. Basically, just kind of saying, I'm getting that, you're on your way out of bad times. So, careful of any pitfalls of falling back in because you're on your way uphill. So the Seven of Cups is about staying upright, is about staying in your head too long. The Seven of Cups reversed, when activity is nearly frantic and done without deep thought. If you feel yourself rushed, take some time to slow down and quietly reflect. Oh, wow. Okay. I hope we're getting somewhere then. I'm gonna do a clarifier for you. Do we have anyone else wanting a reading? Welcome all my new viewers and new followers. Alright, let's do one last clarifier for Samurai. Alright. Oh, another reverse. Okay. Six of Cups reversed. Six of Cups is usually about a reunion, I want to say. An emotional... So, I guess again, I'm just kind of getting the... Be careful of regressing. Because you've got, like, 2 9s, which means you're almost to completion on your current saga or arc. And that the 7 is just kind of saying, hey, don't get lost in filler, okay? Like, and don't repeat your season. That's what I'm getting. Make sure you're starting a new arc. So the reversed Six of Cups is worry, rumination, and bitterness. The Six of Cups reversed in tarot reading is a telltale sign of being stuck in the past. Whether you're clinging to outdated modes of thought for comfort or reliving things you said or did wrong, there's something you need to let go of so that you can continue your journey. So, like, no reoccurring bad characters, okay? Nobody's getting revenge. Nobody's coming back. Whoever we're defeating in this arc is done skis. Yeah. It features 6 cups turned upside down. There's a message of loss and bitterness due to that loss. Because of the nature of the reverse cards, the antidote to the imbalance is likely to be found in the reading of the upright card. For this card, it's reconnecting with your inner child. What's something your inner child loves doing that you've been neglecting? So yeah, I say you need to find a new passion, a new skill, something that's going to move you forward, not keep you stagnant. Woo! Yeah! Watch streak. Thanks, DJ. Alrighty. I hope that was helpful, Samurai. It sounds... Based on your reading, I would love for you to come back next week. And we'll see how things go. We can maybe do another reading, a follow-up. You've already got me excited for the next arc. No filler. Would anyone else like a reading? I typically like to go about an hour, but I also like to get through anyone who wants a reading. So, is there anyone else before we maybe do a final 3 cards? We'll do a general 3 cards and then call it a night if there's no other takers. Sure, Davey, let's go. Do you have a particular question in mind? Or would you just like a general? Awesome, Samurai. Welcome, Eternal Peace. Thanks for joining us. We're about to do a reading for Davey. The question is there a particular question on your mind? Or are we doing a general? And I already got 1 card popping out, so I think we're just going to go with it. You got the 2 of Swords. Represents a choice. Ooh, here we go. Well, I already can see you're struggling. The 2 of Swords pretty much literally represents that. So, just struggling with some family losses over the past year. Losing my last 2 grandparents and being a typical man just bottled it all up. Life's pretty busy at the moment, planning a wedding, and it's just getting a little much. Okay. Alright, let's see what else we got for you then. two more cards. Two more cards for Davy Jones. Justice. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And the King of Pentacles in reverse. Alright. So, first of all, when it comes to bottling stuff up, never do that. I'm sure, you Batman. I'm sure if, hi Eternal Peace. I'm sure if this person is right for you, they're gonna want to know. So I would definitely recommend that you open up to your fiance about how you're feeling. Because they probably want to know what's going on. A lot of times we're people, people in partnerships are really receptive to their partners. Whether you realize it or not, they may already pick up that there's something wrong or that you're bottling up stuff. And you don't want people's minds to wander too much on what they're thinking about. So might not be a bad idea to just sit down and be like, hey, I'm kind of feeling some stuff right now. So, the Two of Swords represents a hard choice, a stalemate, or a truce. So, just basically representing the inner conflict you're experiencing. It indicates a barrier that you create to protect yourself. Whether you're guarding your emotions or keeping up a charade with another person, the fact of the matter is that you're only pretending everything is okay. It's time to stop avoiding the truth and make a final decision. So, I think it's pretty obvious that you're holding stuff back, and with a looming wedding coming up, I think this is all the more reason why you should maybe see if I think you should kind of see how it goes to open up to this person, because the Justice is telling me that maybe it's gonna be, you're kind of creating a boogeyman for no reason. You're building up your emotions as being something bad when you don't, when a lot of times we build something up so big that when we finally do it, it's like, oh, that was it? Really? Oh my gosh, let me give you a hug. Let me give you whatever you need. If that's all you were worried about, I'm here for you, Because the Justice represents fairness and rationality. So, it's unmoved by emotional appeal, cold but undeniably fair, justice about using reason to reach balance. As the card 11, this is the first card of the next card of the major arcana in the shift from the physical world to the spiritual world. Justice stands for rationality in the name of what's best for the situation. After the wonder of the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool begins to wonder about cause and effect. The Fool feels guilty about the wrongdoings of the past and looks for a way to balance the scales. So stern justice implores the Fool to dedicate just time to all the aspects of yourself. Justice helps the Fool realize that being objective can help you make the best decisions. If this card appears in a reading, it means a change must be made to reach equilibrium in your life. To make the best decision in this situation, put aside your wants and ask yourself what you have been needing. Excess in any direction will always lead to a feeling of incompleteness. This card can also be a signal to accept a responsibility and do what needs to be done. Aww. Thanks for your insight, Goofy. Your final card is the King of Pentacles reversed. So, it means irresponsibility, control, and rigidity. The King of Pentacles reversed indicates a tendency to not listen to others' needs or a rigid business strategy. It can mean you are being domineering with your family members or colleagues with well-meaning but unreasonable standards, like a boss who requires time logging because he does not trust his workers to do their jobs. If you get the reverse King of Pentacles in a reading, it's an indicator of imbalance. Because of the suit, Pentacles, the solution to this imbalance has to do with day-to-day life. If you're feeling stuck or in a rut, you can begin to heal by turning off technology and reconnecting with the world around you. A helpful exercise to balance the reverse King of Pentacles would be reviewing your bank statements. I don't know how much that one really, I don't know, maybe that resonates with you. It seems a little out of place in the reading, but maybe there's something from that you can take. I'm just going to say that maybe that's you being too hard on yourself. Like I'm almost getting that's like you know, people who tend to bottle things up almost kind of are people who tend to bully themselves a little bit. Like, I know when I'm in the state of bottling up, it's just like, shut up, be quiet, you're fine, stop being such a wuss, suck it up. You know, like I get that like inner drill sergeant kind of just telling me like, come on, scout, you can handle this. What are you doing? There's no crying in baseball. So maybe you need to show yourself a little more forgiveness and grace. Especially, you know, when you losing a family member is rough. It's something that shouldn't be ignored. And I think maybe you should give yourself just a little bit more, I guess again, grace. Just go easy on yourself, you know? Let's see. Especially if you've got all that going on. Like, you know, upcoming wedding and the loss of a family. It could be that your family members are kind of having a hard time too. So I did ask for one more card, and it's probably the most positive card. This is your kind of like takeaway from all of it. The Four of Wands. It's a small celebration, thrill, and togetherness. The Four of Wands comes up when you have finished one stage of a major project. It represents a small and humble celebration. For me, I'm just getting like the upcoming wedding. The Four of Wands is not a sign of an end, but rather a break. You still have work ahead to achieve your goals, but this card suggests you deserve to acknowledge that you've done a lot so far. So maybe you should be coming, maybe with the wedding approaching, you need to be in more of a like, it's really easy for people to put so much on an event like that, like all the, a lot of negativity can come out. And even just expectations. Ooh, expectations are so bad. Try to remove any expectations you have so that you can kind of just enjoy the moment. I think with something as big as a wedding coming up, I cannot urge you enough to just make sure that you are taking a moment to just enjoy that moment. And not think about like what's going to happen or how it's going to be or any of that. This card, holy shit, I didn't read this far. This is literally in the book. This card can be a symbol of marriage. because marriage is seen as the completion of the first stage of a relationship. The Four of Wands can symbolize an important milestone at work or in your home. With the foundation laid, it's time to re energize yourself while enjoying the joy of your fresh beginning. This card represents the need to get a clean start, forget about the setbacks of the past, and focus on your present celebration and future. Holy shit! How awesome is that? So, everything's gonna be fine. Definitely open up to your partner, tell them how you're feeling, and just relax. Because you have something, it sounds like your wedding is going to go absolutely wonderfully, and your relationship has such a strong start that if you don't enjoy it, if you don't, make sure to be grateful. Maybe even just take a moment to like talk to, maybe have a conversation with the loved ones that have passed, and tell them how happy you are, and imagine how much it would be to have them there. I don't know. It sounds like you've got all good coming. So I hope from the bottom of my heart that you enjoy what's coming for you. Because if the cards are any indication, it's going to go great. And that you should just enjoy it. Yay! Yay, yay, yay! I hope I helped. And thank you so much for coming and asking for a reading. I think that is probably the best place to end it. How awesome is that? My favorite types of readings are readings that deal with love. So to get that is just great. I can't thank you enough for coming to my stream and finding me and asking for a reading. And I hope your wedding goes great. Thank you so much, Davey, for the follow. I don't think there was anyone else wanting a reading, but I think this is a good indicator that Wednesdays are going to be a good day. I think, yeah, thank you, Goofy. I think we're going to plan for our next reading on Wednesday. For now, it's going to be my tentative tarot reading day. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope y'all have a good night. This is Shayla Estrella signing out. And bye-bye.